Hey you guys, and welcome to Art Club. I'm so excited to have you here. Got lots of fun things for us to do this week, so welcome. So the first few days we're going to be making these really cool mobiles. So you're going to see a picture of them in the center of our screen there. Today we're going to start off with the more necessary but maybe not quite as fun stuff, and we're going to kind of get it prepared and ready to go. So in your kits, you should have gotten a wooden hoop like this, as well as a thread. So, and yours might be a different color than mine. That's totally okay. So our first thing that we're going to do is we are going to cut that thread. Each time we cut it, it's going to be about from our fingertips to our elbow, okay? So we're going to make those cuts, and I'm going to just transition so we can see a little bit better what we're up to here. So when I cut it, I then took and tied, the first one I made was knot here, and I quadruple knotted it. So I tied 4 knots basically is what I did. You could do more or less. But I just really wanted to make sure that it held on tight. And now if you need an adult to help with your tying, definitely feel free to ask them to see if they can help with tying these knots today. Because I know even for me, like, it can be a little bit tricky, so I definitely understand that. But our first piece of string is going to get tied from here, and then you can see it kind of, it's hard to see the thread on camera, but it's going to go from this side to this side. The reason why I think it's important for us to do this first is because it actually works best for this project if we can keep it kind of like hanging near our workstation. So for me, I've got a little hook that I'm going to be putting up here, and then I'm just going to have it hanging right there, because we're going to have all these strings coming down, right? And if we're setting it down and moving it all around, these strings can very easily get knotted up, which can add frustration. So you could, maybe you take a piece of tape and you just tape it to the corner of your table. That could work. So figure out what works best for you, but it does tend to work best for these couple days while we're working on this project to have it hanging up. Once you've got it hanging, then we're going to cut 6 more pieces of string from our fingertips to our elbow, and each one is going to get tied, you can see that there, tied around like this. So, and you could do more or less. I would say you could do as few as 3 around, as many as 7. So it's kind of up to you. I just find that 6 works really well for this, okay? So that is our first steps, and I know that seems like it'll be really quick, but the tying of the knots does take a little bit of time today. So we'll want to work on that first and get all of our strings dangling down from our mobile. Once you've got that done, we are going to, in step number 2, you can see the shape of a hot air balloon. So we're going to be making our very own hot air balloon shape, and we want it to be about the size of the palm of your hand, okay? So the first one that we're making today, this is going to be our template. It's going to be on any color piece of paper. I chose to have 3 different colors of paper for our first hot air balloon that we're going to be making. So go ahead now, if you haven't already, and draw out and then cut out a hot air balloon shape. This is going to be our template for all our hot air balloons. So we are going to continue to use this over and over. We will trace it, and now you guys can be using pencil. I just use a Sharpie because it's easier to see on the screen. So I would take it and put it down and trace it again and cut it out again, and I'm going to keep on doing that until I have a total right now of 5, because I'm going to want my one template that I'm going to be using over and over again the next few days, as well as 4 ready to be glued on to our mobile at the beginning of Art Club tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to show you guys how to fold it, how to glue it, how to actually connect it to that string on our mobile. But for today, if you can make sure you have all of your strings tied to your wooden hoop, as well as having your 5 matching hot air balloons cut out, and they can be any variety of colors, really, as many as you want and think look good together. All right, you guys, have fun. We'll see you again tomorrow for this project.